Alright, so I tried to make this video in response to your video, and TikTok said I violated community guidelines for inauthenticity and integrity or something like that. And I thought it was very interesting because who are you to say that it's inauthentic or lacks integrity with all the crap that people put out on TikTok daily that's clearly a lie? So my guess is it's because it's not a lie. So please listen to what I'm saying, because I'm not coming from a place of head knowledge. I'm coming from a place of things I've actually seen. Fallen angels exist, all right? It's not just energy and that kind of stuff. Now, you said in the beginning of your video, angels created man. Then what would be the purpose of this great cosmic battle, if you will? And the reason why I'm asking that is because if we're all created of the same entities, neither good nor bad, or all bad or whatever, or all good, then there would be no reason for the struggle. The truth of the matter is, God created angels. Some angels fell, and those angels procreated with humankind, making Nephilim. So God told me earlier that there actually is a girl that's staying in the same place. That's a Nephilim. This girl, she shows up, like, I'll turn around and she's there. I feel like she's in my personal space, like her eyes are following me, like she's trying to bait me into talking to her, or whatever the deal is, because the fact of the matter is she's there to destroy. So I've had dreams of fallen angels. There's different kinds. Two specifically I've seen. One, he was blonde, like white blondish hair, pointy ears, almost like something you would call an elven or something, scar over the eye. And I think it represented vanity on some kind of level, but I remember he was trying to take me down. Like, I was trying to leave. I'm kind of a new Christian at this point, and he was trying to take me down. And then another one, black wings with the black hair that you see a lot of these emo kids wear over their eyes, the black skinny jeans. This is where some of these trends are coming from. They're coming from fallen angels. Now, people can, exalt the whole technology thing, not understanding that technology came from these fallen beings. Most of it, I would say. At least upper 80% of it came from fallen beings. I don't know if you've seen that movie Space Traders, but it's basically about, black people being sold, from my understanding, for technology, and so that they can also cleanse the earth or something. Like, they'll give you knowledge if you give them man. All right, and a lot of these entities, they definitely are doing strange things with men, eating them, all sorts of crazy stuff. So, yeah, that's happening. These things exist. And even before I became a believer, I was in a Buddhist retreat, and I remember speaking to this woman. I said, this just doesn't feel like a human. Like, she's so weird and boastful, but then she's like trying to teach me things, and I'm like, that don't feel like normal. I didn't want anything to do with her, because I was hanging out with some Satanists prior to that, and I started to pick up that they speak in code. All right, they're not speaking the language that I've been speaking. It was like a whole awakening type deal. But yeah, and then not too long after that, I started to think about, well, maybe there is a God, because all this weird dark stuff is happening. And Satan ended up trying to make a deal with me prior to that, and then after I came to God, I was only like a few days in, Satan tried to make a deal with me again. So these beings exist. They do. And the whole thing concerning religion, the true religion is to follow Christ, or follow the Most High, the Creator, through His Son. But where a lot of us are falling short concerning that is we're denying that He actually has a specific way that He wants us to follow, and that He does have laws and commandments, and these things were put into place to protect mankind, but they have not been following it. All right, so with that said, you might have some knowledge, and it sounds like you're a seer on some kind of level. However, you're not going to be protected in these coming days, for the simple fact is you're denying the Most High, the Creator of the heavens and the earth. So I brought up the thing about the stars because the stars are angels. There are 50 stars on the American flag. My guess is that means like every single state is guarded by a principality, whereas some of these other countries, they might have 5 stars, or they might have 1 star. And also that whole 5-star thing comes from that as well. Have you seen, is it Paramount maybe, where in the beginning you have the Statue of Liberty, Libertas, aka Lucifer, all right, with the torch, okay? I'll have to come back to that. But in that beginning, you see these 13 stars, that mountain and that those 13 stars are around, that is Mount Hermon. That's where the angels fell, all right? So I'm thinking that these 13 stars are like the highest angels, but there were more stars that fell with it, that fell with them. I guess I'm just curious where you got 200 from. I don't know. But yeah. So you definitely have those 13 stars represented around Mount Hermon in that Statue of Liberty, which is Lucifer holding that torch. So they're putting it, in your everyday entertainment, and many of us are missing it. You're right, there is a battle going on, but the battle is between the seed of God and the seed of men, which come from, self, but also these fallen angels. I've seen it in my everyday life. This isn't just head knowledge. This is literally experiences that I've been having. I showed up at a grocery store. I think I was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It was one of those natural grocery stores, and literally there was a person there, and when I looked at him, I was like, he looked like some kind of angel or something. Well, he started playing on his guitar, and understand the guitar, it's representative of the dark kingdom sometimes. And so he's playing on this guitar, and that's actually the instrument that person was playing when they tried to make a deal with me. So, God. And the crazy thing about that situation, it was just weird. All right, he was playing. I started reading the word just right there, and it was like every time I would read the word, he would go up in his playing. It was like he was playing to the music in my head. Like when my mind was not focused on the word, all these crazy thoughts would come into my mind, and then he would play to that. And then when I started reading the word, it was like the musicality, like the music, the upbeatness came forth. So I don't know what that entity was. It could have been like a real holy angel, but it also could have been a fallen angel. I don't know. The point is, I've had these experiences. These things exist. They're not just energetic and beings and all that. They have thoughts, will, emotions, and they have an agenda, whether it be for the Most High God or whether it be for Lucifer. And that it is the fallen ones that rule these governments, okay? You said something about this chip being put into people, all that. So in the movie The Matrix, it shows Neo, and they put this scorpion looking thing inside of Neo, and it could control him, and then they had to take it out. When you said that, it reminded me of this girl who said that whatever it was that they put in man, whether it's from the snake bite or whatever the deal is, she's had a dream that these people that had it, they would hear something like a whistle, and maybe it was only them that could hear it. I wish I could find that video again, but when that whistle went off, they all fell to the ground. So they had control over man because of what they put in their bodies, which is why I be telling people, don't be going to these freaking hospitals no more, because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're putting in the medicine. You also have to do things like fast and watch what you eat. Stop going to these fast food restaurants and that kind of thing. We've seen the KFC video, And so you gotta understand, these government officials are working for these fallen beings. They're making it seem like they're innocent. Oh, we discovered a UFO and all that kind of crap. No, you knew that they were there from the beginning. You are their offspring, all right? So that's why we're in the situation that we're in. This is a literal prison, all right? This is the Matrix. That's literally why in the Matrix they were riding on a ship called Nebuchadnezzar, which is the king of Babylon, trying to make it back to Zion. But they couldn't get there. And I believe the reason why they couldn't get there is because they were relying on themselves and not the Most High God. You see in that movie, they're on that ship and they go all the way up to the sky, and they're like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've seen. Split second, and then they go right back down. I don't think they ever make it to Zion, to be honest. Because the only way to get to the Most High Mountain in the Kingdom of Jerusalem, which you brought up, is through God and God alone. He's saying you have to have VIP in order to get into this place, all right? You brought up Jerusalem, and you said it's something like a crystal city. No, it's not a UFO. Jerusalem is a realm. It means the city of peace. And we are not taken up from Jerusalem. I don't know where you got that from, but New Jerusalem comes down, and we receive a new heaven and a new earth. It's not a place after we die. And in fact, it's the kingdom of heaven coming to earth. So that's why you see the Messiah say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven draws near, because it would have been heaven on earth if these people repented. We're not going to heaven, all right? That's not what's going to happen. Heaven comes to us if we repent. So, and that city is made of more than just crystal. It's also made of streets of gold, and gold represents the most refined metal, and that refinement comes from hell, basically. It's a refiner's fire, and he purifies us. Like he purifies, like one would purify a piece of gold inside of a furnace, or silver, because he told me I was supposed to be purified like silver, not like gold, which isn't bad, but it ain't the best. So I'll take silver over bronze any day though. So that's what that is. Anyway, hopefully this helps.